Welcome back, everyone, to episode 18 of the Iran series. And last episode, we finally became a nuclear power by having nuclear weapons available to us. We have two, so we're going to try to produce four more, which will bring us up to six. And let's adjust the national service to... Let's adjust that to 20 months. So that's going to be well liked by the residents. Let's see if we can hire some more commandos. So we're hiring a few more commandos, bringing us up to 1,890. And we're going to make some investments in education now. So technical training, scientific training, and medical training. So be a total of about $5 billion. And then with housing, let's go to transportation. So pretty soon we're going to start building a high-speed railway, and also we're going to start building some hyperloops as well. That should help with growth, even though I don't really want to touch anything that's dealing with growth right now, because inflation is starting to kind of go back up a little bit.
But are you crazy? You are screwing up the whole thing. Your job and your country. You cannot continue like this. I cannot even back you up in such a blow. Seriously, you must react and get a...
Okay, so inflation is starting to go up again. So let's raise the minimum wage by 20. Can't imagine anyone objecting to this. So we'll put that in place. And then with pensions, so we'll do that, and that'll help bring down inflation. Plus, if we look at growth, so we're up to about 7.1. And let's look at our debt, see how much we're bringing in. We're bringing in about 28 billion as a quarterly surplus. So within another 28 days, it'll be the end of the quarter, and that should help bring down inflation even more.
Very well. What kind of offer do you wish to make us?
Alright, so let's drop this down to 9.66.
Very well. We accept your offer.
And we'll end that meeting.
Very well. What kind of offer do you wish to make us? Your figure is disappointing. It falls. That's a step in the right direction, but still. That's a step in the right direction, but still. Interesting. We're nearly there. Very well. We accept your offer.
Okay. Let's take a look at energy. Alright, so uranium. Let's see who... See who produces that. Canada. So we'll try to make a deal with Niger for uranium.
Very well. What kind of offer do you wish to make us?
And we'll drop this down to 7.
Very well. We accept your offer. You're not.
Let's take a look at finances again. So growth is still going up. Let's take a look at inflation again.
The organization, which held a major forum in Durban with all the major players on climate, deplored the lack of solidarity among nations in the fight against global warming. Besides noting the poor results on the reduction of CO2 emissions, the forum also pointed out the flawed agreement between the countries, which can be explained by various motivations. The nations in the far north will see a warming of their once freezing cold territory, which could make it habitable and cultivatable, whereas in the south, the warming should remain moderate. Also, some people consider only the rich Western countries as being historically responsible for the warming trend because of their uncontrolled consumption over 2 centuries, and so they should assume and repay their debt to the global climate more than other countries.
All right, now let's look at the environment here. So alright, so the biggest thing now is, since we're a nuclear power, we want to counteract any nuclear threats. So we'll spend about 90 million for that. So for CO2, let's add another 20. And 30. And let's try to skip up a week to see what happens with our economy.
The decree takes effect as of today.
Our agents that have infiltrated this organization confirm their window of opportunity. It goes without saying that the operation is risky, but...
Alright, we're not going to do anything just yet. We're going to try to speed up the week a little more again. And we're going to start addressing some of the countries that hate us by even maybe setting up some type of preparation for a cyber attack.
Our agents that have infiltrated this organization confirm their window of opportunity. It goes without saying that the operation is risky, but if successful, the short and long-term benefits are...
Okay, we'll still wait with that.
Our infiltrated agent was spotted and murdered. The terrorist discovered that he worked for us and sent us his head by...
The decree takes effect as of today.
Alright, let's see what else we have here.
Cancer may become.
Alright, so let's take a look at the healthcare. And for work accidents, and we're going to invest about $2.8 billion.
Our fellow countrymen's purchasing power has been increasing lately, but their living conditions remain tough.
Alright, let's see what we can do with that. Actually, let's look at bottle order and see where we're at for that. So, let's reduce the price by 3%, which is about $13.6 million. Okay, electric vehicles. Okay, we're still up in production for that. So let's look at the workforce. So let's bring that up to about 400. So naval construction. So let's make that 100. And the plastic industry. Plastic industry, we're going to invest another 100 million.
The decree takes effect as of today.
Alright, and let's try to go up another week and see what happens with the economy and everything now. So hopefully there should be some decent improvements. In particular, inflation.
The work is finally over, and the inauguration will take place during the next few weeks. Would you like to attend the ceremony and...
Okay, so there's one project that's done, completed. So that should help, since that's complete, inflation should start going down.
You've changed the deal on... We could greatly improve our healthcare system.
So let's just take a look at inflation. Yeah, that's still starting to go up, but it's the end of the quarter, so we have like another day, and we should have a pretty decent surplus. In fact, we should probably have a Treasury reserve. So we have 31 billion coming in from this. And let's take a look at housing. So we're going to build another, or remodel another 10,000 homes. Let's take a look at growth. Growth is up to 8.4. So All right, so we completely repaid our debt. So we have a Treasury reserve, and we're gonna have 6.82 interest per year. So that's very good. So in our Treasury reserve, we have $29 billion.
Here are the GDP and growth figures for the last year. As you know, these are the most important economic indicators and the most revealing of the health of our economy. This is an average result. We must remain cautious and measure the consequences of our economic stability over the long term. Purchasing power declines. This is very bad news in the current situation, which is already very difficult for our fellow countrymen, as we acknowledge. The stock markets are empty, and people are struggling to pay bills.
Okay, so we're gonna have to do another tax cut then. Let's lower tax for the lower class by 1%, which is about $1.1 billion. And then we're gonna shed off 0.5 with company tax. Actually, no, I'm going to hold off with that. I want to look at unemployment first.
We are awaiting your instructions.
Alright, here we go with another riot again. Let's just send the military in.
The rioters have taken The rebels have set up a barrier.
The situation is clogging dangerously.
Okay, so let's look at unemployment. So that's down to 4.23.
The rebels have stopped fighting.
I'm going to forget for the moment my customary indifference to the policy to tell you that you have really surpassed all the boundaries. Seriously, what on earth are you thinking of? Eh?
Okay, volcanic eruption. Alright, so we don't really get along with them, and I'm not concerned with them at all. But let's make an adjustment to our networks. So we're going to put a network in. So we're going to put a network in the UAE and Kuwait. So let's go through with that. So first let's start off with Kuwait. And we'll start off with about 25. Let's start with industrial sabotage. Actually, you know what? Let's just set up for a cyber attack. And then the UAE. we'll set up for a cyber attack also.
Emotion competes with pride when I look at this building. Before us stands the expression of our national genius. Yes, let us not mince words. This is a sacred fire which stimulates our architect's vision and drives the passion of our building professionals.
We have subdued
Our
the rebel
agents that have
movement.
infiltrated this
There's
organization
no
are
more
still
unrest in
operational.
the city.
Do you want to try
Order
to
has
dismantle
been
the
restored and our men have returned to their stations.
Okay, we have a budget surplus of 21.15%. So
Here is our growth forecast for the end of the year based on calculations that we made last month. This is an average figure. It reflects an economy with moderate dynamism. We could do better.
So how in the world did it get back down to that again? How are we in the negative? So we're back into a recession.
Here is our growth forecast for the end of the year.
Not sure if that's a bug or not. But actually, by raising the minimum wage, that may have contributed to it. So what we're going to do is go into industry again and okay, electronic components, we have that. Let's see if that does anything, and it does. So we have household appliances. And nuclear submarines.
Our agents that have infiltrated this organization confirm their window of opportunity. It goes without saying that the operation is risky.
Alright, let's try to
The
dismantle
decree
them.
takes effect as of today.
Alright, and let's see what else in industry we can. Okay, Great Public Bionics. So let's subsidize that by 500 million. And a workforce of so let's go with the workforce of 500.
Our agents that have infiltrated this organization are still operational. Do you want to try to dismantle the operation?
Alright, let's go for it. Okay, Ghana wants to meet with us, and let's look up. Alright, we're not on good terms with Niger, so we'll go back and look at who else would be able to sell us uranium for a decent price. Let's look at inflation. Alright, so inflation has really come down. So I'm kind of going to hold off with any additional projects. Let's look at debt. Our public debt is at 0.10. Another surplus of about 59 billion, so we're still doing well.
The decree takes effect as of...
We just have to work on our growth.
We are awaiting your
And another riot. So I'm pretty close
The
to banning
rioters
them.
have taken control of the square. The rioters have taken control. The rioters have...
Alright, and let's go to farming. So with lumber, alright, we're not able to reduce the price. Sugar beets, we're doing good. Let's take a look at rice. So rice, we're not producing enough, so make this an even $1 billion that we're going to invest into that sector. Okay, so we've been successful with taking out the Mahadin in Afghanistan. Alright, and let's go back, and so we want to hire some more cyber analysts and bring that up to a little over 30,000. And national agents, we're going to bump that up to about 30,000 also.
We have subdued the rebel movement.
The current political orientations somewhat annoy, from Report 12 by Centovic, the different services. According to my calculations, there is already a 31.28% possibility that they will develop Svorsky syndrome. We should rethink our global strategy, and increase funding. Ahem. Our agents that have infiltrated this organization confirm their window of opportunity. It goes with...
Alright, we'll take advantage of that. Hopefully that delivers a large blow to the terrorist groups in Libya. Let's see if our... Didn't we create something with Iran? And, I mean, Iraq? Guess we didn't. Okay, that's still being built for Turkey.
As I predicted, the systematic analysis of the habits of small groups has allowed us to strike a serious blow at the terrorists. We can now state with certainty that we have entered into a Najaf cycle.
Okay, we took up 18% of the total jihad. Okay, so we have even more powerful fuel batteries. So we're going to go ahead and patent that. That
Good
should bring in more
morning.
money.
I didn't come empty-handed. In fact, I wanted you to see in order to submit to you this
They can't. Yeah, they're not going to even come close to the production that we really need. So we're going to refuse that.
No thanks.
But what we will do is let's fund our own. So let's increase that by about 300 million. So that comes a lot closer to meet the demand that we have. And let's go to beef and see how much. Alright, so we have enough cows, so we're okay there. Let's take a look at vegetables, we're okay with that. And what about potatoes? So potatoes we're not producing enough. So let's bring that to $461 million as a subsidy. And that brings us a little closer to our demand.
Our sportsmen are ready. But if I'm...
Alright, now let's look at inflation. Let's look at our debt. And let's look at our growth. So we're starting to come out of this mini recession again. Let's go with the tire industry. So we're meeting about half of the demand that we have. So let's add $1 billion into that sector. So that brings us a lot closer to what we need. And let's hire another... Actually, let's hire another 200 workers, which is only about $2.7 million. So let's take a quick look at our missiles. So we have 3 that's available to us, and we have 8 in production. So on that note, I'm going to end this episode. Once again, thanks for the likes. Please subscribe, and please click on the bell to be notified of any future videos. In the meantime, thanks again, and I will see you soon.